All right, hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, heroes and villains, children of all ages. Welcome to Four Reels Radio episode. What are we at, Tom? Four?
We're at
Five?
seven now.
We're at seven?
Yeah, I mean, if we're counting the Civil War episode as two parts.
Holy shit, we're like professionals
Wow.
now. We're like old enough to like own a dog. All right. Welcome to Four Reels Radio episode 7. I'm Kyle. With me today, as always, is Tom
Hello.
and special guest slash possibly returning member Ariel.
Hi.
All right. So today we're talking about, if you can read the little thing down there, Batman: Mask of the Phantasm. I never saw it before now. I saw the advertisements back when I was a kid, and it was like, coming on Saturday, and I was like, Saturday is my day where I play Pokemon or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like they always just
I'm
like
ashamed.
advertise it like this.
Just
I just
ashamed.
never saw it as a kid.
Okay.
I watched the show.
All right. I mean, just watching this again was like a real treat for me because it was like reliving my childhood. Like I remembered like a lot of the lines and everything, and I was surprised. I haven't seen this for probably over 10 years. And so it was really, really cool to like go back and just watch it all the way through as an adult and like see the differences, from when I was a kid, like what I didn't quite understand when I was a kid, and now I'm like, oh wow. So.
Yeah, I mean,
How attached were you? Do you remember like the day, like, oh, it was a Saturday and I grabbed popcorn and like?
Yeah, I remember it being advertised on TV and watching it. I would get up every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. sharp, and I would have not have gotten up that early if there wasn't Batman on the TV. So, yes, I was a huge nerd. Still am.
And Tom, your experience?
yeah, I know I must have seen this as a kid, whether through Blockbuster, ask your parents, or or maybe I saw it in theaters. I don't remember, but I know I've seen it at some point because there's like images from this in my subconscious. But this was like the first time as an adult I've sat down and watched this, and it's been it was actually been really fruitful because I've been rewatching well, actually, I've been doing a watch through of like the entire Batman the Animated Series. A lot of which are episodes that I don't recall seeing. And so slotting this right in there really reminds me, just like, wow, this is just like, it reminds me why this is the best version of Batman ever made. So.
Totally.
Whoa.
It is.
Okay.
You're outvoted, Kyle. I don't know what your opinion was, but
I mean,
obviously it's invalid.
I was like, shit. I like the I'm the goddamn Batman. I like the Arkham City Batman, which is based on this Batman. Admittedly, like it's the same voice actor and stuff.
Right. I don't know.
Okay, I'll take my love for George Clooney and my giant, bat nipple suit somewhere else.
Yeah, bat nips. I don't know. Batman the Animated Series is the best, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean,
I agree.
Batman and Robin is a special joy unto itself, but Batman the Animated Series is top crap.
It's good.
He's got a square jaw. Every Batman should have a square jaw.
Okay.
No.
We have a female
Batman.
opinion now. This is amazing.
Yep.
All right, so Tom, go ahead and give us the trivia.
Okay. Well, this was put out, while the television series was on air, written and directed by several of the staff from the series. Paul Dini, who co-created Harley Quinn along with Bruce Timm, was one of the writers on this. As is Martin Pascoe, who has done all sorts of stuff for DC. You can Google him. And Bruce Timm himself co-directed this along with the guy who helped make the series, a guy named Eric Radomski. And this did, as we were talking about before we hit record, this did make its money back. It made $6.6 million against a budget of $6 million, so it did turn a profit. Although it kind of came and went in theaters. It was just sort of a random release. I'm not sure why exactly, but it was just sort of a random thing, and it wasn't too high profile. But it's really well rated, really well enjoyed. And this is the same voice cast from the series, the same animation studio, same music, and honestly, what I'm sort of surprised at is if they didn't do what they did with Futurama later on, where they would make the movie and then they would chop it up into episodes, just air on TV. I'm sort of surprised they didn't do that, because you can sort of tell at moments, like, okay, you could sort of have a cliffhanger here or there. So this did really well. And actually, fun fact, Dana Delaney, the voice of Andrea Beaumont, slash the Phantasm girl.
Spoiler alert.
Spoilers, yeah.
Spoiler alert.
And yeah, the voice of Andrea Beaumont in this movie. She was Lois Lane on Superman the Animated Series, which came a couple years after this. And different hero, I know, but you should all watch Superman the Animated Series because it's great and really.
It is great.
So.
Do I have to? I'm sorry. I played the Superman game on Nintendo 64, and it scarred me. I can't. I think that's why I love Superman to this day. I think every time I think of Superman, it's like kryptonite fog and flying through rings. If you haven't played that game, don't.
Okay.
It is the worst video game in mankind. Like, it is notorious, Superman 64, and it's based off the animated series. Like, I have no love for the Superman animated series.
Okay.
It's funny that, like you mentioned, the guy who made Harley Quinn. Like, it's sad that in like 20 years, that's what he'll be known for.
Yeah.
Like, no one will go back and watch the show, but like they'll be like, oh yeah, that's where Harley Quinn came from. Yeah, that's like, oh, did you know he had a TV show, a Batman TV show?
Yeah.
What?
There are kids I know today who watch this show. And I think he's made his peace with being known as the creator of Harley Quinn, certainly.
It's certainly not like a bad mark on his record.
No, definitely not. Yeah, I have a funny story about Bruce Timm, actually, the guy who directed this. So a couple years ago, it's a really long story, but a couple of years ago, I was at San Diego Comic-Con, and I just randomly bump into Bruce Timm in Artist Alley, and not too long before this, there had been a news story about how he was stepping down from his position at Warner Bros. Animation, and everyone thought that meant he had retired, and so it was reported as such, and then he tried and say, no, I didn't retire, I'm just not doing this thing, I'm doing other things. And that's true. He's now working on, there's a new Justice League cartoon with him attached to it coming pretty soon. But, you know, I, like, misremembered that, and so I said something about, oh, you know, I thought you were retired. He was like, no, and then I have, like, a picture of him, but he's really pissed, so that's how I pissed off the dude who made our childhood, everybody.
Thank you.
Meet your heroes and then insult them. That's a great plan, Tom.
Yeah, perfect.
If you're listening, Tom still remembers you, Bruce. All right. So, like I said, I did watch the animated series. I think we all watched the animated series, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
At nauseum. I watched the one with Robin. I watched the one with Batgirl. I think we all watched all those. I was a toy collector. I had all the freaking toys.
I still got a few of them. Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere.
Cool.
But you were mentioning earlier how you thought like, oh, this would be good to like chop up and put into shows. Like I remember them did show it on TV, but like when like Ari mentioned in the preview, like Batman gets his ass kicked. This is probably PG-13.
This is dark.
Yeah.
There's a lot of adult material in this that I did not catch when I was a kid, and so it's kind of fun to watch it again.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call myself jaded, but like there's some moments in this that we go, oh damn, like there's a bit where he like just gives where Andrea Beaumont or Batman, I forget which, but one of them just like gives the Joker the severe uppercut and it like knocks out one of his teeth and.
Oh yeah, it was Batman.
It's like, oh damn, it's like you feel that though. It's like
it remains missing for the rest of the series. Like that's like a cartoon injury. Like that's like Animaniacs level where like, oh, I get slapped and then like my face is red and then like the next time you turn the screen over, it's like gone. Like no, his tooth is gone.
Like forever. Until he
Batman's got a cut on his arm like
that. Yeah, and also I remember one of the scenes where he's at the construction site and like some sort of explosion happens and like his like vision is going in and out of focus. Like I mean that's pretty intense. And Bruce Wayne's really
Batman got a concussion.
Yeah, exactly. So it was pretty real.
Yeah.
That normally doesn't happen. Early on, I know there's a part where like a cop car flips over and stuff, but there's pretty
great action scenes.
Oh yeah. And the action, I mean, the action like it was on the show is just, it's gorgeous.
It is.
And honestly, like, watching this, I kind of wanted a couple times to just, like, mute the audio, as, so I could just watch this as, like, images, because I feel like you could do that, and then you would, like, still be able to follow what was happening.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to mute the audio because the music is way too dramatic.
Dude, the music's awesome. Okay.
It's awesome, but it is 90s cheese.
Gothic and like it's cool.
The biggest example of 90s cheese is I don't know if you guys watched through the end credits, but there's this insanely cheesy song. 90s saxophone everywhere. It's oh man, it's like It's like Boys to Men is happening.
I'm so glad you brought that up because like I noticed that too, and I'm like every movie in the '90s has one of these songs at the end, like an overly cheesy love song,
Yeah.
you know, kind of R&B style,
Yeah,
a little,
Yeah,
you know.
even Disney did. Like,
It
there's like
didn't
what
fit, but it was funny.
a version of like that one song in Mulan. Like, it was everywhere.
Yep.
It's just
Yeah,
so
that was
crazy.
98 Degrees, by the way.
Yeah.
I can't believe I remember that. But yeah.
You say you can't remember that, and then you just pull out the album right now.
Yes. And Stevie Wonder, but you know, Stevie Wonder's
Yeah.
awesome.
No one's gonna like bash you for liking Stevie Wonder. 98 Degrees though, you can take
Yeah,
some
no,
heat.
I just it's a weird memory from my childhood that just was
Get a
what
tone, you can
happened.
take some heat. No,
Oh,
okay, fine,
98
fuck you guys.
degrees.
All right, so back to like the story.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the beginning, Batman
In
falls
the
in love,
beginning,
right? Like that's basically it. Like, oh, he meets some chick at a grave who
at a
seems crazy.
graveyard, which
Which, yeah,
means
that's-
that they're perfect for each other and also both psycho.
Yeah, that's a nice way to. It's sort of interesting. Like, wow, this is a movie aimed at children, and here we have our romance beginning in a graveyard.
With a lady talking to her dead mother.
Yeah. It's like, oh, okay.
Oh, this is normal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe this is why I didn't like it as a kid, because it was too much Bruce Wayne and not enough Batman. Now as an adult, I love the Bruce Wayne parts.
Yeah.
But as a
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what's great about Kevin Conroy is he sells you on both. There's been actors in the past who are either like really good at Bruce Wayne, Val Kilmer, or really good at Batman, like I don't know, Michael Keaton. You know, but Kevin Conroy really like understands what makes both work and makes them both interesting.
Yeah.
What I did find kind of funny is and the thing about this movie is it's half in flashback about Bruce and Andrew Beaumont meeting and falling in love, which is also as he's sort of figuring out what he needs to do to be Batman.
Mhm.
You know, 'cause he'll talk several times about, the plan is working.
Yeah.
And you know,
I'm
then in the
closer.
present, Batman's trying to track down this basically a serial killer called the Phantasm who
Mhm.
shows up looking like
Vigilante.
the Grim Reaper with a hook for a hand and getting all these old mobsters to ice themselves. Like, and those are crazy brutal too. Like, one dude's like car like goes from a building into another building, and because this isn't a Fast and Furious movie, he dies. And then that one guy, a friggin' like obelisk or something, falls on top of him.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta let me talk about
It's a
that
big
one.
gravestone, and he's in the grave, and it crushes him.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's... Okay.
Jeez.
Or you can have it. That's cool too. No, that one. It's like some like straight up like horror movie shit because it's like he appears in the graveyard. He separates him from his friends. I say he, but it's a phantasm.
Right.
Separates him from his friends. Torments him all the way like through the graveyard to a pre-dug grave with a giant fucking statue.
Of an
Like
angel.
he falls in there and he's like, your angel of death is coming. It's like holy
No,
shit.
your angel of death awaits you.
Excuse
on.
me, mother.
I'm just saying, it's a sweet ass line. Don't get it
I'm
wrong.
glad you
man.
were scarred as a kid. Okay.
I don't know. It shaped my like everything. So I don't know. It's pretty cool. But yeah, no, I really like that part. I mean, it's terrifying watching it again. I mean, it scared me when I was a kid too. But you know, obviously this guy is scared, and it's like, and at first it's like, oh my gosh, you're just a freak, you know, and then it feels like something supernatural, and that's how he gets like freaked out and runs away and runs into the grave and everything.
Yeah. I'll admit though, like I thought, because of the way that one mob boss guy, the way he looks, I thought that was Rupert Thorne, who was a character on the TV show. And then I realized, oh no way, it's not. And then you're like, oh well, definitely not because Rupert Thorne never died.
Right.
I don't remember that. The only one I remember from the show was I had to call Heather and it's like, oh, that's Harvey. That's right. Harvey Bullock shows up and like chases and shoots at Batman for a little while, and I was like, okay, cool. They brought him back. I didn't think there was no Commissioner Gordon in this, was there?
No, there was. He was there for like 2 minutes in the beginning, like sticking up for Batman, saying that Batman doesn't kill.
Yeah,
So.
and then he sort of disappears, which kind of stinks. Like I always like when Commissioner Gordon's around.
Yeah. I love Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah, he's great. What else? Oh yeah, what's pretty cool is that in one of the flashback sequences, there's like showing Bruce Wayne's sort of first night trying to stop criminals, and he has like
Was it the baklava?
yeah.
Yeah, the ski mask. Yeah.
Ski mask and those little I don't know what you call them, but those little like spike balls you can use to like deflate tires or
Caltrops.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got those, and then like at one point he's like hanging off the back of this truck full of insert illegal thing.
Right, whatever that is.
Never say what it is.
Bad guys.
Guns,
Just bad
drugs,
guys.
bad guy stuff.
Yeah. So he's hanging onto this truck full of bad guy stuff, and then they zoom by a cop car, and then like one of the cops is like a young Harvey Bullock, and I just thought, I don't know, I thought that was really cool that he was.
Oh,
I didn't
I
even
did
notice
not
that.
notice that.
Yeah, like.
This is what I keep Tom on.
Right. Very observant. That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So I don't know. I thought that was a really little nice bit of visual continuity, and yeah, I don't know. I thought that was really fun. I really liked Alfred in this. Alfred got a lot of good moments.
Alfred's awesome.
I'm so happy to see him again. I haven't seen this like show in years, so like to go back and meet Alfred again was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
To me, like, animated Alfred is like the only real Alfred that has ever been. So
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Animated Alfred is really good, except for there's the moment in Injustice where comic Alfred headbutts Superman. That's my favorite Alfred moment. But
Okay.
animated Alfred's pretty dope.
Yeah.
I think
All
I
right.
remember that. I'm still getting through Injustice because there's a lot of it. There's a lot of Injustice. They're on year
Yeah,
5.
it's when Superman breaks Batman's back, and then
Oh,
Alfred
yeah,
comes,
yeah.
he takes the pill, and he headbutts Superman.
Yeah.
It's like, you are no longer welcome here, Mr. Clock, or whatever. Mr. Kent.
Yeah.
Anyway, so back to this review. If you want to watch that review, go back to episode 1 or something. Alright, I'm trying to think about what else. Actually, no, that was something different.
Well, one thing.
The beginning is like the Batman training sequence, and then after that we get into like the whole Batman deciding whether or not he wants to give up his
Batman.
dream or not.
Yeah.
The Batman. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And
I love this part. Oh, go ahead, Harry.
oh yeah, which just makes me wonder, like, if all this stuff hadn't happened with Andrea Beaumont, would he have never become Batman?
Yeah, that's what I wonder. I mean, I don't think he would have, because he says, because he says when he proposes to her, and she says yes, he says, I'm changing the plan. So to me, that sounds like pretty definitively that he's deciding, yeah, I'm giving this all up. I want to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course the huge amount of bats fly out. Which, man, if you're gonna propose, don't do it by the swarm of bats. That seems like a good rule of thumb.
Some girls have different things, Tom. Okay?
I don't think he knew about that Batcave, so.
I don't think he did, but still, yeah.
Make sure you scout before you propose. Thanks.
Right, exactly. You gotta make sure the site is safe, bat-free, I guess.
Familiar with the vast grounds of your estate before you propose to someone on it.
I got time for that.
People 101.
Oh.
I kind of wish they had gone a little bit more into the. I understand it was for kids, but it's like if you're gonna be for adults or be for kids, I wish they'd explain like more of like how they got together, because basically it was like I'm the only person who's gonna be an asshole to Batman, so he's gonna fall in love with me, and I'm just like, okay, why is Bat even like this guy? He's just like she's just a bitch. I just didn't like her. She was
cool.
snarky.
Yeah,
She was snarky though. Like that's her
snarky.
aspect. I'm snarky.
But compared to the other girls that were hanging off of him and stuff, she had a lot more
True.
substance. She was also athletic, so they had things in common.
Yeah, like, I mean, their
Both rich.
way they flirt with each other was
Hold on.
through judo.
When you mentioned that, she might not be that deep, but she's deeper than every other girl in the movie. You're entirely right. Because remember that one? It's like, oh, Bruce is afraid of marriage, and the I word,
What's the I word?
engagement.
Exactly. So compared to
You're right. She's
some
probably the
bimbos-
best girl in the Batman universe.
Yeah, so she's pretty cool, and she also has obviously issues with her parents. She talks to her dead mom. She's very attached to her dad. So I mean, they got those parent issues to talk about, and
Yep.
I don't know, they have a lot in common.
Go to therapy.
Thank you, Ari. I now respect the Batman romance. Thank you. You've explained it to me. Seducing of the Batman.
Yes, this is Seducing of Bruce Wayne. I feel like that should be a book. Anyway,
You gotta write this now.
I could, maybe, in all of my free time.
All right.
So, back to Mask of the Phantasm.
All right. So he's in love with she goes to her dad. Her dad owes money to the mob.
Yes.
Is that what's going on?
Yes.
Owes money to the mob. Can't pay them. They decide like we're gonna run away to Europe somewhere. and they run over to Europe somewhere, and they just send. Well, they said they settled on the Mediterranean. Okay.
Yes, that is true.
They you have way too much memory. They get caught. She sends Batman a letter saying like, "Hey, I'm gone, peace, nigga," and then he goes and Batman's.
Yep.
Right. He Batmans.
And we come back to him stalking her in a restaurant, having
in the
which
rain.
I thought was really creepy because
that's really
I never
creepy,
thought of that when I was a kid, but he's literally stalking his old girlfriend. I was just like, really,
on a
Batman?
date. She's not even doing criminal shit.
I know, exactly. It's like, you're just being creepy, man.
Yeah, and then twice he breaks into her apartment. It's like, dude, no!
Yes.
No, that's wrong.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
And she just takes it all in stride. Like, yeah, sure, that's Bruce. He's a fucking psychopath.
Oh, yeah, this is Bruce. Well, see, she would do the same thing. I mean, she's basically a serial killer, so.
Yeah.
They're perfect for each other.
I didn't realize how screwed up this was. It's a serial killer and a stalker in a relationship together, talking about breaking into each other's houses.
Yeah.
Right. They're perfect for one another.
Yeah. What did you guys think of the reveal that the Joker was once like a henchman for this like mob boss? Did you guys dig that or?
I loved it. And here's why.
Okay.
Because nobody just goes around one day and decides to like, okay, I'm gonna dress up like a clown and blow things up. There has to be some sort of background. Yeah. And since he was already a bad guy, and then starts to go crazy, already has these connections and stuff. Yeah. It makes sense. So it's sort of an origin story for the Joker as well as Batman.
Yeah, and I like that a lot better than the origin story they give in the '89 Batman, which, I made you made me first. It's like, oh, he killed Batman's parents. Okay.
Yeah. The Joe Chill one? Yeah, no.
That was fine. Yeah, Kyle, what did you think of the Joker being?
I love the little reveal. I just thought he was going to be more of a side character rather than the main villain, and that's where it was like it's Mask of the Phantasm until we decide that this is a Joker movie, and that's when I was like, oh, okay. I kind of wanted the Phantasm, like knock each other out. When I I hadn't watched this before, so I didn't know the spoiler and everything like that. So when I was watching it through, I was thinking like, okay, what's going to happen is that he's going to kill her dad, and then she's going to be mad about it because you killed her dad, and then like she's going to become the bad person because all of Batman. I was telling Heather, like all of Batman's girlfriends are like bad people or dead, and she doesn't seem like she's going to die.
Yeah, she's too spunky to die.
She's too spunky to die.
She's
exactly.
Smart to die.
Same difference. So I figured like Batman would kill her dad, and then she would like freak out and be like, "How could you? Batman doesn't kill." It's like, well, you killed first. It's like, well, whatever.
It's a kid's cartoon, remember?
Right.
Exactly. Still, this wasn't a kid's cartoon. This was PG-13.
It was PG.
It should have been PG-13. It was probably PG, but still.
Yeah, okay. I think it was. Yeah, Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker, the uncut version is PG-13, and that
I remember that.
Oh boy.
I have that one on DVD.
Yeah, that gets grim.
It does. But Batman Beyond's awesome. I mean, on a different subject.
Yeah.
It's cool. We'll do a different subject at the end of this. We'll do a second episode or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I really, I don't know. Like, I get what you're saying when you say like, oh, I thought this was going to be this thing, and now it's a Joker movie. And I'm like, well, at the same time, if they're gonna take any of the villains from the show and put them on, it either has to be like the Joker or Catwoman.
Yeah.
Because like the Catwoman thing is already pretty complicated.
Ooh, I'd like to see that though.
Yeah.
Like a literal cat fight, Phantasm versus Catwoman.
Oh man, that would be awesome.
Selena Kyle versus Andrea Beaumont.
It's like, oh, I'm just gonna stay here. It's cool.
Hey, 13-year-old Kyle's allowed to have his fantasies, okay?
Yeah.
Superhero fighting.
One thing I did like about the Joker being in the movie was that he was living in the old World's Fairgrounds, which is like totally perfect for him, and it made it like it added this extra dimension of creepiness. Plus, this is where he like went on a date with Andrea Beaumont and stuff, and it's just perfect.
Like the part with like the hard part with Joker is like being crazy but not being over the top with it, and like the robot wife thing was fucking gorgeous. Like the little robot dog, like that shit was fucking hysterical.
Oh yeah, that was fantastic. Can't be
Yep.
too careful with all those weirdos around.
Right?
Your impression's a little bit too spot on, Tom.
No such
I've
thing.
had a long time. Yeah, I was kind of surprised though that Harley Quinn wasn't even like mentioned.
She wasn't that big.
A little odd. Well, yeah, I mean,
You
not
don't
as big
remember
as-
how she wasn't that big back then. Like she was a
Yeah.
side off character. I think she was in like a total of what 5 episodes.
It took a little while for her to
yeah.
like have some build up, you know, and so
Yeah.
she was more of a side character at that point.
Yeah,
But,
but
That's what I'm saying. Is like if your kids are looking back at this, they'll be like, "Where's Harley? Like she's the reason anybody watched the anime." It's just like, no, there was more. You just
No, it's not.
yeah, I
I'm
know,
just
it's
saying,
like-
modern young ladies,
right.
all they know is Harley.
Okay. Did anybody else see the symbolism of them going through the tiny, like, little Gotham, and how it was Joker and Batman, and how they were basically destroying Gotham,
Yeah.
fighting each other?
Dude,
Like that's pretty
Deep.
perfect visual poetry there. And plus, I think like it's a good way to have like your crazy giant city destroying fight, but without making it ridiculous.
Yeah, without like Godzilla and giant robots.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was pretty great. And speaking of visual symbolism, I love that they do the old, it's like what they used to do in old movies. You know, they show Bruce and Andrea like making out, and then it just, current camera gently floats up to the curtain, and then wait,
Right.
laughing on the shore. Oh. That's tiny Hollywood speak for boning.
Right. Yeah, it was very old-fashioned the way that they did the love scenes, and
Yeah.
I felt like a lot of the scenes in general were something that you could have seen in a live-action film. It would have been
Yeah,
really, really
absolutely.
badass.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
I'll speak of one action scene I keep thinking of just because it was funny, but it was also really awesome. Was at one point during the construction scene chase, you see Batman like grappling up, and then they sort of shoot at him, and then like his cape gets like torn to shreds, and it's like, oh, he stuck his cape and cowl on a friggin' sawhorse.
Right. I thought that was so
Away.
cool.
Yeah, it's just like,
It's like, where did you think of that? How did you think that fast? Oh,
like I said, I got the after school job. Like those are the kind of moments that like you look back and kids go, "Oh my God, it was so cool when Batman did this thing." You know what I'm saying? And normally those were like movie level things, and like they were a ton of them in this show. Like they were like just a lot of like, "Oh wow, they really thought about this." Like this is some like in a normal comic, like that's the entire issue is that one cool part. You know what I'm saying? Like you'll buy an entire comic just for that one cool part, and like this was full of them.
yeah, chock full of those moments.
Very Batman-y. And then one other thing, just real quick, while we're talking like what we did like about it. I was watching this and I was sitting there going like, Batman's doing some like actual detective work, which you don't
Yes.
see in most modern
Yeah.
Batman.
That's what I was going to say, but I like totally forgot like my train of thought. But yes,
Go
he's
ahead.
actually being a detective, which was pretty badass.
Yeah, we don't get enough of that, and I mean I get why, because like it's more engaging to see Batman punch a murder clown in the face than it is him to go all Sherlock Holmes on things. But it's like, okay, he's the world's greatest detective. Let's show that, you know?
Yeah.
Now for half an hour we're gonna dust prints.
Just gonna desperate do a little research on
We're gonna
the.
PCR to get a DNA test going, you know.
Yeah.
Grab a lunch Quiznos, real detective shit.
Speaking of world's greatest detective, I really like that they actually used that line. Andrea Beaumont called him that, and I thought that was neat.
Yeah,
You know, so I think they really put a focus on that in this movie, which is really nice to see.
Yeah, they haven't really done that in any of the Batman movies that I.
Exactly, because and okay, all right. Another thing is that like the voice acting I thought was pretty good for Bruce Wayne and Batman, and it's not like any of this I'm Batman, stuff, which I know a lot of people like, but it really showed a more sort of intellectual side of Batman, just in general.
It took me a second to agree with you, like when I was watching it, but like I got there because in the beginning it's like, what are you doing? I am doing jujitsu, the ancient art of blah blah blah, and it's like, okay, like this is some very '90s cheesy like stuff, but like after a while it's like that's who this Batman is, like that is him. He is a radio announcer and like a businessman and the Dark Knight all in one.
Billionaire
That's what's
playboy.
thinking, like he can talk like that and get away with it. He doesn't have to have emotion because I am doing jujitsu. Like that's who he is.
Well, okay, another thing is that Batman is a total jock, and I think we forget that a lot.
Yeah.
So
which is one of the
Batman
things that
is like
Bruce Wayne.
Oh yes, Bruce Wayne is a jock. Bruce Wayne is an emotionally disturbed jock who has really good deductive skills.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and that's part of what makes the Lego Movie Batman so funny, because like they just take the jock part and double down on that and make him a bro, which is why it's hilarious. You know, I only work
Oh
in
my
black.
gosh, I never noticed that before, but it is perfect.
I still haven't seen the Lego Movie.
Oh man, it's great.
Shame on you and your children and your grandchildren.
He doesn't even have any of
My
them.
grandchildren will see it. You can't shame my children for not seeing it. They aren't even here yet.
Okay, true. All right, I'm just saying, once you see it, the curse will be lifted, and it'll be okay.
I want to see it. I want to see it. Don't get me wrong.
It's
The curse will be lifted.
Yes, but not until then.
Until then, I will have -5 on all my diplomacy checks or something. Like,
basically, you're gonna be rolling shit stealth checks from now on, bub.
my charm is ruined. All right, so back on the thing we were supposed to watch. We'll watch Lego Movie later. I'm trying to think, but I mean, like, I feel like we covered everything. Like, it's a badass movie, tons of action, tons of actual detective shit, a romantic plot that you actually care about. As an adult, lots of interesting shit because there's some visually interesting, yes. Stunning, yes.
Can we go back to the music a second? Because you found the music cheesy. Can you explain on that a little, Kyle?
It was just way too epic for what's going on nowadays. Nowadays, we have a lot of like very light music to what like the events that are going on. Like we don't have like these big orchestral scores anymore. Like in the old movie they did, you know what I'm saying? You think of like Jurassic Park, dun 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 dun. I can't get sued for copyright, but you know what I'm saying? Like, and all that was some brontosaurus just walking, and like all of a sudden there's this epic music, and that's sort of what was going on here. It's like Batman's punching a random thug, and the music's like dun 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 dun, and it's like whoa, chill. Like we know he's gonna be all right.
Okay, was it just me, or did the music remind me a little bit of Lord of the Rings?
Absolutely. And that's what I'm thinking. It's like I'm used to like giant wars and dragons when I hear this shit, not Batman punching Mike.
It's representative of his tortured soul.
See, now I'm just imagining Batman riding on a dragon, and everything is beautiful.
That's the image we needed.
You know, we were talking earlier about how this movie sort of echoes old Hollywood movies a lot, and the music kind of underscores that, you know, and that's the thing. Like, what made the show stand out is that, you know, at the time, no kids cartoon had a full orchestra. You know, kids cartoons got like a bunch of random pre-selected keyboard tracks, and that was it. You know, but you know, the music just sort of envelops like, yeah, this show is big and important, and you know, I thought it perfectly suits the whole like retro yet futuristic world, you know, kind of vibe that.
Very gothic, yeah.
Yeah, gothic sort of Art Deco aesthetic. Yeah.
I will admit though, I had no clue.
Stop putting up curtains in my podcast, Ari.
My bad.
It's all good.
Curtains, okay.
No, like now that you mentioned it, like it's like I said, the thing about it is you have to be in the right frame to watch this. And if you watch it as like I'm going back to watch a movie that was made in 1993 when cheesy cartoons were okay, and it's an adult movie for Batman fans and trying to appease. Like when you watch it with like all these caveats, it's amazing. When you watch it without the caveats, it's really good.
Yeah. It's a. Really
but there are some decisions that you look at, you're like, but it's like if you can put that part of your like your part on pause, it's good.
Yeah.
Which you guys seem to be able to do because you saw it as kids, so.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, like I said, I know I must have, but I'm basically approaching this fresh. It's like when Sailor Moon came back a few years ago. No, I saw it as a child, have absolutely no long-lasting memory, so I'm basically experiencing it fresh. You know,
I can't wait to see your Tuxedo Mask cosplay.
Oh no, Tuxedo Mask is just, he's lame, but he's supposed to be, which is why it's funny.
I don't think she has any clue what Sailor Moon is. Let's go ahead.
No, I know what Sailor Moon is. I just didn't watch it when I was a kid. Batman was my jam.
You didn't miss much.
Sure.
Yeah.
So anything else you guys want to talk about?
What should we do about the movie or?
About the movie.
Yeah, I really have no complaints or, you know, criticisms. Just everyone's great. So. Yeah,
it was a pretty awesome movie. And one thing at the end, though, remember the scene with the locket and how it was in the Batcave?
Yeah.
And we're like, is she dead? And then, like, we see her, like, on the boat or whatever. I think they were kind of trying to leave that open for her to come back as the Phantasm because, let's admit, the Phantasm was kind of badass. I mean, like, the costume was cool. I mean, like, the Phantasm is scarier than Batman, you know? So, like...
Yeah, no, I fully agree.
Well, one bit of and this is definitely just my brain sort of registering this. There is no way they could have known this back in '93, but uh, if you guys have probably heard, and certainly all you viewers out there have probably heard by now, DC Comics just rebooted their universe again. So now the Watchmen characters are in it, and there was a shot that was going around of a similar scene, similar to that locket finding, only Batman finds like the comedian's like bloodstained like button in the in the Batcave, and it's like staged the exact same way. And I'm just like, oh wow, that's a really weird coincidence. Like I said, almost certainly unintentional, but my brain couldn't help like going to that when that bit came up.
You have
Interesting.
too much knowledge, Tom. You got too much.
It is both a blessing and a curse.
You're the kind of person that like sees the letter A and then recalls like the fifth scene in Sound of Music's acting or something. Like,
I've never seen all the Sound of Music.
What?
I know.
no, I'll judge you, Lego Movie.
Yeah, I've started it like 3 times, never finished it. Same with Oliver. I don't know.
All right, next time on the Comic Book Review podcast, we'll talk about the Sound of Music. No.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about musicals. Just kidding.
I'm down with it.
I'm down with it too. I mean, honestly,
We're not making Nate watch Cats.
I've never even seen Cats. I think that's
You've
the
never
only
seen
musical
Cats?
I've never seen. No.
Tom, have you seen Cats?
I saw a touring production of it a few years ago. Yeah, it's.
Oh, fancy.
I saw the PBS copy, okay?
From the library.
That too. That's fun.
From the library, exactly.
Oh man. They should make a
All right,
Batman musical. Kidding.
No, I think they've done that. Remember the Spider-Man musical?
Yes, it was a
that was
disaster.
awful.
A disaster. They
Yeah.
shouldn't make superhero stories.
Yeah. I mean, there was a Superman musical in the '70s.
Really?
Yeah. It didn't run too long, and it's considered really, really dumb. But I would like to see it revived just for the Superman fan part of me, which is
Right.
enormous. You can't see it, but on the shelf behind me, there's a dedicated section of just Superman books.
Sweet.
Yeah, and I have like a wall of Superman posters in my room, so it's fair to say I'm a fan.
Yeah.
All right, well, back on the topic. Ari, any final thoughts?
Geez, I think we covered everything. Oh, one final, like, dumb thing. Batman sacrificed the Batbike to save Andrea, which I thought was pretty awesome. That was a cool
I'd be
scene
more
with the jet was
impressed-
on, and he throws the bike into the jet.
Yeah.
I'd be more impressed if he forgot where he parked the Batwing earlier, like in the construction scene. Like they're like locking it down, like they were like gonna put a boot on it earlier.
Exactly, they're like pounding at it with their guns. It's like, yeah, he's got so much money to throw around. You know, he can destroy his bike every now and then, or misplace the the Batwing or
Probably in the
whatever.
back of his mind.
Where did I park the Batwing?
Yeah.
Hey, Alfred,
Rob, I need you to go pick it up.
See, now I'm imagining like Alfred like committing B&E and just like climbing up on top of a roof, stealing the Batwing. It's freaking
good
great.
image.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm like, where are we park this thing? Where are we gonna park it? We don't have a garage. Pick it up. Just inconvenience all of us. So many tax dollars at waste, Bruce. Thanks. Catching your ass. All right, then. Well, I think that wraps up our Mask of the Phantasm review. I'll say, watching it at the time, it would probably be a 9 out of 10. Watching it now, I have too many caveats, and it's a little bit too cheese for me, so I'm going to say probably 7 out of 10. If you like Batman, you're going to enjoy it. It's good. It's got Detective Batman, which I love Detective Batman, but it's not going to, I was hoping it would be something like, if as far as Batman stories go, if The Dark Knight is still like my favorite, which is 10 out of 10, then this has got to fall in there as like a 7 out of 10. It's nothing super surprising, but it's very, very solid.
Yeah.
Tom?
Yeah, I'm much the same. I'd go a little higher. I would say 9 out of 10, just because everyone here is at the top of their game and they're all doing really great work in service of a really solid story. But like you said, yeah, it's not The Dark Knight. It's not that mix of the moment and transcendent that was. But it is still, yeah, at the end of the day, it's a really solid, exceptionally well-made Batman story.
Hmm.
Yeah, Ariel?
All right.
Yeah, for me, like the dialogue was amazing, and I think that's something that we didn't really talk about. Like the dialogue was tight. Like that is something that you would. Oh, okay, that's voice acting, not dialogue. Okay, but I mean, in general, I thought it was really good, and I mean, like this is a really, really, really quality animated film. So I'm gonna go like 10 out of 10, man. Like I love the movie, and I loved it more as an adult than I did when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Awesome. No, when you mentioned dialogue, I'm giving Batman a little bit like cheese because he's a little cheesy to me. But like you're right, the back and forth with the Joker and the mobsters is pretty dope.
Oh yeah, every
Yeah,
line.
and there's some great moments.
Is gold.
And the storyline, just in general, is complex but simple enough to like understand for like kids. So, yeah.
Awesome. All right then, and then our little read, watch, or play segment. Tom, what are you reading, watching, or playing?
Well, speaking of Batman, I have a Batman book I've been reading. It's called Strange Apparitions. It's a collection of 70s Batman stories that ran in Detective Comics back in the day, and basically it's just a whole bunch of stories of Batman fighting one enemy after another by Steve Englehart and Marshall Rogers. So at first he's fighting this guy named Dr. Phosphorus, who, if you guys remember Blight from Batman Beyond, basically the same thing. And then Hugo Strange shows up, Rupert Thorne, and where I'm at right now, the Penguin's about to show up. And yeah, I've been wanting to read that run for years. It's like considered one of the best Batman runs by any creative team ever. And now that I'm finally reading it, it's like, oh, I get the hype. Like, this is a lot of fun. So
it's actually really good.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, I love that whole decade in comic storytelling in general, but this is really something special.
So do you have it like out of one of those like Batman collection books or something, or?
It's in a trade paperback called Batman Strange Apparitions.
Okay, because I need to know what to Google, and I'll Google that. That sounds awesome. All right.
I mean, nothing worth like mentioning. I mean, it's not anything interesting right now for me. But
what's the last thing you watched besides this?
The last thing I watched besides this, not very nerdy, so I don't even know if I want to say it.
No, that's cool.
You got to.
Seriously? I have to?
It's the policy. We have to talk about something, either
policy?
what you're reading, watching, or playing, or what you're going to read, watch, or play this week.
Okay. The Mindy Project. So much judgment.
What the hell is the Mindy Project?
Exactly.
Like the current season, or like?
Season 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is this?
See, exactly. It's like so out of your realm. It's a sitcom with Mindy Kaling.
It's like just normal comedy, like some like
Yeah,
on Channel
exactly.
7 comedy. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it's
No, it's fine. I'm just asking. It's not like a bad. I don't know. Drop call. Where's that at? I'm just asking. Shit. I just didn't know what it
That's
was.
like the last thing I watched. I was like, well, I finished Sons of Anarchy. That was an emotional experience.
So
yeah.
I've been told.
Yes. Oh man, like I've never cried so much in like a finale episode ever in my life. I was bawling.
Okay. No spoilers. We didn't warn people for spoilers of Sons of Anarchy, which I haven't even
I
watched.
just said I cried and that it was emotional. Okay, I'm not gonna say how things happened. Whatever.
Spoiler alert: the guy falls off a bike or something. I don't fucking know.
Good show. Pretty raw.
Yeah, no. I've just been watching. I that so I watched Roots on Memorial Day. I think I'm on episode 3. I'm catching up on it. I haven't like kept up all the way, so I just finished episode 3, and that shit is emotional and draining and very well acted. But I don't want to get too into it, But it's if it's something that you want to watch, it's good. It's a very well produced show, and it will make your feelings have feelings.
Yeah. Now,
then,
LeVar Burton has like a small cameo. Can you see him, or is it like one of those blink and you'll miss it kind of things?
Who
I
does?
haven't really. LeVar Burton, Georgie.
Oh yeah, he is in that. Just I don't really remember because it's been a few years since I've seen the movie, but I do remember him being in it.
No, he's Kutsu Kente. He's the major character in the old one, but the new one just came out.
Yeah, right.
Oh, right.
They gave LeVar Burton like a cameo in the new one, so like.
Well, they didn't give it to him. He's like executive producer. He's like big.
Well, yeah, I know, but I'm asking, like, did you see him like on screen?
Oh no, I haven't I wasn't looking for him. I didn't know about that. I thought he was executive producer and that was it. So I don't know like what it. I don't know if you'll get your Geordie fix, Tom. I'm sorry, I can't tell you.
I mean, if they want to be true to
There's
Geordie,
always
they'll have something going terribly wrong because it sucks to be Geordie LaForge.
It really
I'm
does.
sure that part where the house is on fire, he'll be running out of it or something. Like that's what'll be happening. He'll do an awesome like duck and roll out of the burning house to avoid it or something. All right, then we'll do me, Tom, Ari. For Four Wheels Radio, this has been Kyle.
Ari.
And I'm Tom. Love you, Internet.
And remember, I know jujitsu.